Hello, friends and beautiful people. It's Kathryn Elevated Consciousness Coach, 5D Visionary, and Finn. Say hi, Finn. The prettiest boy ever. I wanted to do this timeline shift update to talk about what is happening in the collective and individual levels of your awareness on this ascent into elevated consciousness. We are experiencing something that I like to call, my guides like to call, divide and conquer timelines, divide and conquer realities. And this is, yes, happening on a collective level. Of course, we have the coronavirus right now that is creating quite a huge gap and separation in humanity. You can obviously see the implications of divide and conquer when you have people with a lot of anxiety, a lot of panic, and a lot of fear being stoked up to DEFCON 5, with everyone being really afraid of getting sick or dying, having this coronavirus transmitted to them, and it is causing a major rift in our society where we tend to feel a separation in the unity consciousness even more when there is a fear of other. And this is a very, very potent and powerful piece of artificial machinery perpetuating this false timeline. And when we buy into deeper levels of this fear, we tend to separate and fragment ourselves from the greater level of source consciousness, the all that is, even more, let alone separating from each other, let alone separating from, feeling like we are at odds with our own hometown, at odds with our own community, at odds with our own family, at odds with our own country, even, as some countries are going into lockdown now. So I don't need to go on and on about the coronavirus and the virus of fear that it's spreading more than anything else. Yes, there have been some deaths. Yes, there have been some tragic circumstances and people getting really ill and really infected. But what happens on a collective belief level is if people believe they're going to get sick, guess what? If people believe that there is a pandemic, guess what? People will act accordingly. So, sorry, my phone is blowing up right now. But this divide and conquer timeline that is very pervasive right now is also affecting us on a personal level, an individual level, within our community. And our community can be our neighborhood, our community can be our family, our community can be our workplace. But not only are we suffering these illusions of separation and fragmenting of consciousness from these divide and conquer timelines right now, this major timeline shift that's in full effect right now. I jokingly say at the beginning, or this header of this call, that it's coming to a timeline near you. It's here, it's now. And it's probably going to get a little bit more intense over this next week. And so on an individual level, I've already talked about the collective level and what that looks like there. But on an individual level, what is this going to look like? How is this going to shake out for you in your life? What is there to look for or be on the lookout for? Hi, Katrina. Hi, Tammy. I can't see everybody who's here, but thanks for being here. So on an individual level, you may feel that that urge to speak out, to speak truth. And I, always am encouraging, everyone I speak to when I do these lives and these talks to definitely speak your truth. This is not a time for holding back. This is not a time for, getting on top of a soapbox and espousing all of your beliefs to a bunch of people who don't want to hear it. But rather, when provoked, when, solicited for your opinion, it is important that we come from a place in the heart, deep on a cellular level where our truth really resides, and speak from that place, and do so without fear of repercussion. However, what I will say about these divide and conquer timelines, this artificial machinery that's in place right now, is you may, suffer some attacks on an individual level of experiencing these divide and conquer timelines where people are like, you're wrong, you're full of crap, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it a million times. I have people tell me at least once a week on my YouTube channel or, on my Facebook feed or whatever that I'm full of crap and I don't know what I'm talking about. Fine. My message is not for you, obviously, and that's okay. And I don't take that inward and ruminate on that like I used to. I take it to heart knowing that I am speaking my truth and I'm not everyone's cup of tea when I do that, and that is okay. If I hold steadfast to what I believe and what I know is true in my heart, and I speak from that place always, and I let that energy rise up in my throat into my oral cavity, and that what comes out of my mouth is all in alignment with my highest truth, I got no problem with people saying I'm full of shit. It's okay. So I encourage you to do that as well, to really look into your heart this week. And, what is your truth? Are you afraid to speak it out loud? Are you afraid to share it with others when solicited for your opinion? Are you, feeling like your truth sounds like crazy talk and you're going to get rolled up in a tight jacket and driven far away? I feel that way sometimes too. I can't not feel that way, because sometimes I feel like I'm saying things that are, in my bubble of reality, very much in truth and very much supported by the work I do with my guides and my spirit team. So even when I second guess it from an ego self perspective, I know that I'm speaking my truth, and I know I'm speaking to my people when they hear me. So you may suffer some attacks this week from your beliefs. You may, write something, share a blog, share a post, get in a family confrontation. Who knows what it is? So it is part of a larger artificial machinery of the false ascension matrix at work in a really pervasive, really profound way right now to enforce these divide and conquer timelines. And what do we know about timelines? They can only exist to the degree that we are participating in them. So if you are participating in, the altercations, the confrontations, in that ego self perspective where you feel like you constantly have to defend yourself, you are participating in that divide and conquer timeline. So I talked about the collective level, the individual level, but on an interpersonal level, meaning the relationship that you're having with yourself, there is going to be some, let's just say, disagreements between your ego self and your higher self perspective. Your higher self is not the one that will engage in this argument. It will be the ego self that will want to engage in or perpetuate or even instigate some level of argument. So you may have a lot of dueling thoughts in your head is what this means, that you will have a lot of self-doubt going through basically this week and the next week. It's going to fizzle out a little bit more, but this is big right now. The energy is big right now. And with the culmination of the full moon, it's kind of exacerbating and magnifying this. So this is really just a public service announcement, a PSA to help you look out for this stuff and not fall into the trap. False timelines, like the divide and conquer timelines, they are consciousness traps. And like I said, to the degree that we are, believing in the fear, buying into the worry, the panic, the anxiety that is being shoved into our face all the time through mass media, even through the people around us that we know and love and trust, everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid right now. So it's up to you to move into that higher self perspective. That vantage point will always allow you to discern what's really happening from a place of truth. So just take a beat, a breath when you feel the culmination of something like, an impending argument or someone confronting you and attacking you outright. Take a deep breath in, immediately go to your higher self vantage point. Immediately go into that place within you where you are able to discern truth. And you're not in a place of ego judgment, which is highly self-sabotaging and self-destructive right now if you allow that. So that was my timeline shift update for you guys. I can't see all the comments because I don't have my glasses on. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope that this has really maybe given you some insight to maybe some of you who are already feeling these kinds of energies, like you're being attacked or you can't control your inner dialogue. It feels like these warring entities inside your brain and your mind. it's part of artificial machinery. It's not real. It's a consciousness trap. Don't get sucked into it. So I want to wish you guys so much love and peace, sending a lot of guidance and waves of love and support to you this week. Love and peace. Bye-bye.